In this video, we're going to be opening up, reviewing, doing some toy photography, and a little bit of customization with the all-new Season 3 Mandalorian from SHFiguarts. Is this the best Mandalorian figure? I guess we'll find out. So you may be thinking to yourself, dude, we have so many Mandalorian figures, why is this one any more special than the last? Well, I have great reason to believe this is probably going to be the best Mandalorian figure in this scale. But of course, in my opinion, SHFiguarts I think does the best with Star Wars. Mayfix does the best with DC and, you know, all of that stuff. But Figuarts does the best with Star Wars. And I'm not discounting Hasbro at all. Hasbro is amazing. But, you know, they make figures at a $30, $20 price point. Figuarts makes them at an $80 to $100 price point. It's not really fair to compare, but I really do think this is going to be the best. The first full Beskar Mando that SHFiguarts did is my favorite figure ever. I've had this one since it came out, and I've used it over and over and over and over again, and I love that figure, so I really want to see if this new one is even better. I mean, I can only imagine it's going to look better. Plus, this comes with 2 Grogus. Let's get right to the point and open this up. And I did pre-order this thing on AmiAmi.com. I'm pretty sure it's still in stock there, and as well as a couple other websites, so I'll have those linked in the description below if you want to pick these up. Hopefully it's still in stock.
This is the way.
So, Mando Din Djarin has become my favorite Star Wars character. Just seeing a character like him grow and love and take care of this adorable baby like Grogu just makes me love him so much. Like, he loves Grogu, which makes me love him, you know? And plus, he's badass, he looks amazing. His chrome dome, just everything about his look is so photogenic with toys and toy photography. Plus the show is amazing. I loved Season 3, and so I'm so excited and hyped for this figure. Also, and a quick friendly reminder that it is okay to get rid of your boxes. Just recycle it. All right, here he is, fresh out of the box. We've got 2 Grogus. Grogu in the little thingy he's sitting, his little egg, which really is not an egg anymore. It's like a perfectly circular ball. Like, I didn't realize how much of just a ball the new one is. It's not really an egg anymore. Well, anyway, but let's just look at Mando. Right off the bat, the very first thing I'm noticing is he's not the perfectly chromed silver paint that the other ones have had. This one's kind of more of a dark gunmetal silvery chrome, which looks really good. And you know what? I'm not sure if I like that as much. Like, if we look at the first Figuarts here, there is a much more chrome look. You know what I mean? Which I kind of like the other one better. This one makes more sense, to be honest, realistically, but I do like the chrome more. But I'm sure it's still going to reflect light and everything beautifully when I try to take photos and stuff with them, so that's totally okay. First thing though, look at that wired cape. I really love how wired capes have become the standard. I'm so glad, because they're so essential and they just look so good. And all the stitching and stuff around his head, it looks and feels just so quality and just, I don't know, like it almost looks better. Like there's way more cloak around his head than I feel like is in the show, but I like that more. It makes him feel like more like a knight. You know what I mean? And the proportions are definitely looking real nice than they looked before, even though the other ones looked great. Proportions look fantastic. Ah, man. So yeah, let's see what kinds of accessories we've got. So yeah, right off the bat, we've got 2 Grogus, which is pretty cool. A sitting one and a standing one, and they both look fantastic. Definitely better than previous iterations. So the first Grogu Figuarts is right here, which I quite like. And he was separate back in the day. You had to buy him separately, but he had a soft goods cloak, which in theory was really good, and you could move him around a little bit more underneath. It kind of bunched up in different places here and would get kind of messed up. Like here, I'd have to fix that every time. See how like there was something separated. But definitely the hard plastic, I think, works better. Just because there's more detail, the texture, and you're not going to have to worry about the other stuff. It's probably cheaper on their end to do that, so definitely a plus. And so here's the sitting down one, which looks really good. This is the Hasbro one, the Black Series one, which was its own figure, own $20 figure. You've got a lot of neck articulation here, that's cool. And he's got this adorable little smiley face there. How great is that? And of course, I'm sure you could probably swap out the heads, stuff like that. Oh, okay, so yeah, I just swapped the heads, which was really easy, but as I'm looking, you can adjust his ears. So if you wanted to have more of a afraid looking Grogu, you can put his ears down, and then you can bring them up for a curious Grogu. That's cool, and it's so seamless that I didn't even know it was there. Now that is awesome. Also, just want to give a quick shout out to the movie realization Grogu with the kimono and the head bun, whatever, man bun. But very different figure. But I just want to give a quick shout out. Okay, but yeah, based on Grogu's alone, these two new guys might be my favorites. So that's pretty awesome. Of course, we've got the jetpack, which you can very conveniently put right on the back there, as always. And it does actually cause a little bit of difficulty if you try to have the jetpack and the cape looking on there. So you just gotta kind of fiddle around with that to make it work. We've got the tuning fork disintegrator gun, which is great as always. And there's some accessories too here, which you can use to get it to strap onto his shoulder strap and stick it on his back like that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, always much needed when you're trying to have that look of it on his back, you know. I do want to give a quick shout to Tamashi for always giving like these helpful little sheets with knowing what all the accessories do. They're actually very helpful. This actually helped me quite a bit, especially right here when they advise you to do not displace. That's true. Thank you. Yes, I will not lose it. I will do my best not to lose the pieces. Thank you. So we've got the dark saber, which looks really great. There's a opened one and a sheathed one with just the hilt, which is great. I kind of like that more because sometimes when you pop it out, pop it in, sometimes the lightsaber blade gets crooked or something. So that is definitely a nice thing to have for sure. Also got a tiny little comms device thing that's just kind of cool. This is probably an accessory I will never use, but it's there, so that's cool. And we've got some little jetpack effects as well, which look really good for sure. And of course, with any of these effects like this, or with the darksaber, if you're not really into using the plastic effects, head to this video here. In this video, I've got some free practical and digital effects you can use for your photos that will work really well. So check them out. I made them. So for the little egg carrier, as you put Grogu in there, you can take this little piece off, which makes it look like it's opened up like a convertible. And then you can just put the lid right on if you want to. And then now he's nice and saved up, which really is a spherical ball. I did not realize this new one was such a ball. So cool. So as a whole, this figure is fantastic. The articulation is definitely a little bit better with the armor. The elbows and just moving the arms around is clearly better than the last one, which is great. And same with these little flappies here. These are working much better on his belt. It all just seems to flow and move around much better, especially his waist too. The one thing that might be a little bit of an issue, just you gotta mess around with it a little bit, is the cloak around his neck is really thick, which does hinder his ability to look down. But if you just kind of mess with it a little bit, you will be able to get him to look down as much as you need. The choice of the dark metal, gunmetal color instead of the chrome is definitely a choice. I don't know if I like it better, but I do like it. I think it looks really good. So this older Figuarts Mandalorian, I love this figure so much. Like, I really do. So it means a lot when I say this one is better for sure. The helmet size, the proportions, everything's better. What it comes with, the cape, I mean, come on. Everything about it is definitely an improvement. Plus it comes with Grogu. I would like if this one came with a Beskar spear. I understand this is kind of a season 3 figure, so no Beskar spear really makes sense, but it would be cool still to have. But I do still just have this custom one that I made out of just a wooden skewer, painting it silver, so there's that. But that would have been pretty cool. Thank you, sir. So here's also just a quick comparison to the Black Series. I just wanted to show it just for the sense of scale. Clearly it's a little smaller and proportions are much different. The Black Series one kind of looks like a tall little kid in armor, but I do love this figure, and this is actually the very first Mandalorian Black Series ever put out. They've done quite a few since then, and actually this one's quite special to me because I was given this at the Triple Force Friday event in London that I was invited to, so I do really love this figure, and there's a custom cape on it and stuff. The Black Series also has a few brand new sculpts for the Mandalorian coming out that look really good. There's like 2 of them, and there's not a whole lot of difference, but one of them has a soft cape. Probably gonna do a video when those come out, but yeah, I just wanna do a quick comparison between these 2 guys. Also, something really quick that I did with him that I think looks really good is I tucked his cape underneath his shoulder pads really quick and just kind of pushed them on top, and I think that looks really good. It makes him have like broader shoulders and it just looks really great. So if you do have this figure, give that a shot. I think that adds a big difference to how it looks. So is this the best Mando figure? I mean, yeah, it's better than my favorite Mando figure, so I'm gonna say yes. But I will say, I have never owned or used any of the Mafex ones, so that one, I'm not sure about that. But I would love to know if anyone has this one or loves the Mafex, let me know, please. I'd love to know. Let's go and do some toy photography with this guy. Of course, obviously, I've had this really great action idea in mind for a long time, which is gonna involve some fireworks, so heck yeah, what better way to break in a brand new figure with some explosives, am I right? Okay, so I'm outside. I think I've got everything set up to take my photo, and I think it's gonna look really good. Let's see what I've got going on. So we've got Mando all posed up, and what I think is a really cool pose. He's walking very cool-like with a cool strut, and he's shooting a stormtrooper in the face, point blank, without even looking. And Grogu's just right there, happily walking along with him. And we've got dead troopers littered along here. It is actually raining right now, so hopefully I can do this quickly. And so I've just got some bricks and stuff back there, and this is what we're looking at so far. Yes, it looks a little bit dark, but I'm gonna bring in and layer in some separate lighting later on with my Lume Cube, and I'm gonna be setting off some explosives in the background, and I'm gonna use one sparkler right here, right there, to look like there's some really cool impact going on. So I'm gonna take one photo with some lighting around with my Lume Cube, and then I'm gonna take one photo with the sparkler right near the stormtrooper's face very quickly so nothing gets damaged. And then I'm gonna take a picture with an explosion in the background with a firework. Here are my settings right now. I've got my shutter speed pretty fast at 1/800 for the moving fireworks and whatnot. I've got my f-stop at 1.8, love that nice background with the bokeh, that's what's gonna come out there, and my ISO is always at 400. And of course, I'll be using my handy little remote shutter that helps with this process a whole lot. So let's go get started quick before the rain gets any worse. And if you're interested in more detail with the fireworks and the editing and this entire process, please just head to the link in the description. I've got a bunch of tutorials on how I do all of this stuff. Okay, so I'm back from taking my picture. I like the picture a lot, and I think the figure looks really good. It's very photogenic. The shininess still comes out, but I'm really missing the total chrome look of it. Maybe I'm not missing the chrome, I'm just thinking it is a little bit too dark, I think, in my eyes. I wish it was a little bit lighter. I do like the idea, but I think it's a little too dark. So I'm gonna do a tiny little bit of customization with him. I'm gonna use a little bit of this rub and buff that you see me using all the time. It's a wax-based paint that goes on, and you can rub it in on stuff, and it makes things very nice and silvery and shiny. So I'm thinking what will be really cool is if I take a very small amount and dry brush some of this on some of the raised edges on his helmet and just on the Beskar itself. Once that dries, I think that's gonna make a really big difference. Let's give it a shot. Okay, well, I did it. Took me about 15-20 minutes. Probably tell already he's a lot more shiny. And I'm really glad I did it. I was really nervous at first, but I think it looks really good. And there's a really great inconsistent shininess to it, which makes it look, I think, really real and really metal-like. And I'm really happy about it. So, hey, this works with any silvery type of figure, and even with expensive Figuarts Mandalorians, so definitely worth doing. Just make sure you let it dry for a while before you mess with it, that's for sure. So yeah, there really are a ton of Mando figures out there, but I'm really thinking this is the best one, especially after a little bit of extra rub and buff on there. What do you think? Is this the best one, or do you have another one out there that's definitely your favorite? I'd legitimately really love to know. If you did enjoy the video, I would be eternally grateful if you dropped a like or subscribed to the channel. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.